Now we're going to talk about doing some audio recording using Garage Band to use for our iStories or ebooks. We go to Garage Band and open it up. When you open up Garage Band, you'll have this start screen appear. What you want to do is press the plus sign for a new song. The next step is that we scroll through and choose the audio recorder. This is where we'll be recording the students, the teacher, the groups reading or speaking the story. There are a couple of things that you need to do to set this up properly. The first one is to look at the bars. If you hit the plus sign, you can see that section A is 8 bars. We're going to set this much higher so it gives us a lot of space to get through as much reading as we need, and then at the end of the project we will shorten this amount. To do this, we click on section A. If your section length is automatic, turn it off, and then with the manual you can change this number. So I'm going to set it to 100, which it will be more than enough for what I need. I click out of that to stop it. The next step is to actually look at the settings, and we click on the ratchet for that one. We still want the count-in to know when the recording is started, but we definitely do not want the metronome clicking while we are speaking. To turn it off, just hit the button and it will slide across like so. After you've done these two really important steps, you're ready to record. All you need to do now is hit the red button. Make sure, looking at the instructions, that you hold the iPad in such a way that you're speaking into the microphone and that it isn't covered. So here's an example that was done earlier.
At 9:30 in the morning, we brush our teeth.
Now we get to the part where we need to split the clip, delete the parts that we don't want, and be left with a good quality recording at the end. We need to press this button now next to the microphone, which brings up the different layers in the track. At the moment it's very hard to see what's going on in terms of the audio modulations, so what we do now is we use 2 fingers and we pinch to zoom in to see the track more clearly. What we do now is we press play,
At 9:30.
and we can see where the teacher stops talking and the student starts. What we want to do is cut the teacher out and separate the teacher tracks from the student tracks. To do this, we double tap on the purple audio recording bit and we choose split. When we do this, a pair of scissors comes up. All we need to do to splice this now is use our finger, press the scissors and cut as such. Once we've done that, I can delete this part by double clicking, pressing delete, and then selecting audio recorder 2 track and dragging it across. Now that we have actually cut the first bit, we actually need to splice now in this gap to separate the student from the teacher track. So same deal as before. We press play to keep going.
In the morning,
That's the next spot there. Depending on how long your clip is, you may want to go through the whole thing and make all your splits before you start deleting. So now I've split it all and I can press play,
in the morning,
and I can choose which bits to delete. Once I've deleted a bit, I can drag these over. so that they match. It's interesting to note that if there's long pauses, you might want to drag it just a little bit over so that to just decrease that space to make it sound like natural talking if required. Continue this process until it's finished. Well, I think it's time that we have a listen to the final product.
At 9:30 in the morning, we brush our teeth.
So that's the completed track. We need to make sure that we go back to our bars and choose how many bars it's going to be. Obviously this track only goes for 2 bars. So hitting the plus sign, section A now, manual, we're going to go all the way down to 2. And I'm going to click out of that. Now it's time to make this file into something that will play in iTunes and then can be made into an MP3 file that can be dragged into Creative Book Builder, ebooks, placed in your iTunes library, played on other devices. To do that, we go back to My Songs. I actually want to rename this so I know what it is. So I click on it once, and instead of My Songs 5, I'm going to call it Time Brush Teeth. Done. Now I click on Edit, choose what I want, which is Time Brush Teeth, and I want to share the song. And this time I'm going to share the song via iTunes. So what I do is I plug my iPad into my computer and I choose Share the Song via iTunes. I want to share it as an iTunes file, not as GarageBand, because it's finished, it's complete. I want it to become a file that will play. This gives me a chance to write down the information. So, artist name, Caro, which was the student who did the work, and the album name, we are just going to call it Time ebook. So all the files that I do on this will be in the same album collected for me. Now I'm going to go share, and this is now being sent to iTunes. Now we're going to access this file and add it to our library and also back onto our device. What we do is we click on iPad, making sure that we've synced it, and we go to Apps. From this, we scroll down to the file sharing, and on the apps here we choose GarageBand. This is the clip that we're after. We can go Save To, and we might save it in a new folder. The title of this folder is going to be Time, and we will go Open. Once you've added it somewhere, you can actually grab it from the folder and click and drag it across to the library and then also to your devices. Back to the device now. All we need to do is click on Music, and we can search for Co, and it's there.
At 9:30 in the morning, we brush our teeth.
This is now ready to be embedded into the ebook. Thanks for watching.